Hi everyone, my name is Mary Beth. Welcome to my channel. I had decided to do a reading about coronavirus and what the big picture is and what we can do to get through these times. But then I figured, I'm just going to share it with everyone because I pulled a bunch of cards on my own. And then I thought, hey, maybe I'll share this with everyone, if anyone's interested to see what we got. So what I did was I just pulled a whole bunch of cards on, what is going on? What is the big picture? Obviously, it's an awakening of some sort. So I wanted to get some more detail on that, but I also wanted to know the shadows. I wanted to know what shadows are being brought to light as well during this time. So I pulled some cards for that as well. So yeah, so let's just see what the divine says on what is going on right now. And so it didn't surprise me when I pulled this card. It says spiritual awakening equals intense cleansing. I can get uncomfortable, but gets easier through meditation and chakra cleansing helps. Yeah, so because I had made a bunch of my own decks, and so I shuffled these really well. And so when this came out, I thought, okay, that kind of, really sums it up. There is some kind of big, intense cleansing going on right now for this new spiritual awakening. All right. And that it is getting uncomfortable for everyone because, it is an intense cleansing that's going on right now. And then also I pulled the disruption card. So everyone's being, this is the Tower card, of course. This has to do with, again, with the intense cleansing. So everyone's, being disrupted in some way. Some part of their lives are, they're feeling uneasy. They're feeling like, things that they were used to are coming apart right now. And the way I see it, it's because there's this new dawn happening. Okay, this new dawn. Okay, so this card I came out reversed. So basically, what's trying to happen now? This new dawn, it's the new dawn of the Aquarius. Okay, and so they're trying. What was trying to come to light now? It's the birth of a new era. Okay, so we're coming out of the Pisces era. We're going into the Aquarius era of peace, of love. It's very fifth dimensional, but the old had to collapse. Like we couldn't just slowly glide and move nicely into this fifth dimension. Old paradigms and first. Okay, so that's what this is about. So what they're saying is we're trying to allow the new dawn of Aquarius to come in. And this is like fertility. So what's birthing is a new era. Also, because I did ask what we can do to get through these times, they're asking you also to, give birth to your own new ideas on what that means and your own awakening, your own creativity. Whatever it is that you were thinking of, that maybe some kind of project that you were looking to give birth to, something to do with, you know, some kind of, it could be just some kind of any kind of creativity that you've been working on. Okay, they're asking you to work on this now, especially if you're in a country right now where you are quarantined. Now's the time. You have the time to do this. And those of us in America, we're actually kind of self quarantining at this time. And so those of us, I know with me, I'm starting to do like Reiki classes and yoga classes online. Anyway, whatever it is that you feel that you want to do to help up your game. Okay. So the next card we got is clinging to the past. So yeah, so again, this has to do with deprogramming ourselves. So anything that had to do with, old ways of doing things, that is changing now. We had to be disruptive. Our whole lives had to be disrupted in order for this to happen, okay? Those of us who are clinging to the past in any shape or form, whether like maybe you didn't forgive someone or maybe I don't know, maybe there was just ways that you did things in the past, or maybe there's some childlike, like child life trauma. So maybe you're looking to do some inner child healing. Now's the time to do it. Okay, we're trying to clear out all the old paradigms, all the old programming out of us to allow this new birth, this new dawn, this new awakening to come in. So they're asking you to no longer cling to the past. All right, the next card we got is receptive. Okay, so they're asking you to be receptive to these new times. Don't fight it, go with the flow, be receptive. Just trust the universe that, like again, they're doing this cleansing. You know what else they're telling me with this card? Because I see animals in the background. So like I see this tiger, and I see like this dragon. And anyway, and it's almost like this is what's coming to my mind, is that they're saying also be receptive to everyone, like be like in unity with everyone. Okay, so like we're all one, and like we always feel like animals are beneath us, but they're not. So to stay in tune with nature and to be like on a collective scale moving up into the higher dimensions, they're asking us to be receptive and think about all entities, not just us, like not like a survival, like, oh, it's like what's in it for me, or like what it, like it's all about me, that type of thing. That type of thing is falling away. And so they're asking you to be receptive to knowing that anything you do it can upset the ecology of life. Yeah, so like we're all connected, right? So anything that a bird does or a bug does or that we do, it affects everyone else. And so they're asking us to be receptive to all entities and to all walks of life, and to treat all entities with respect. um, yeah, because I mean, I do know that I've read that they're saying eating bats and snakes have contributed to this coronavirus. So eating wild animals and that type of thing. And so they're asking us to please be receptive to being all one with everything. Like not like, oh, you look like a, I don't know. It's just like just being respectful of all animals and entities is what they're trying to tell me. Okay, we also got dissolving. Yeah, so it's almost like we're dissolving the 3D right now. The 3D is dissolving. So, so everyone's kind of going into pandemonium right now. Everyone's kind of being swept away. Like the old ways of doing things are being swept away. I don't know what's going to happen with like banking and all that type of stuff. I don't have a clue. But as everything's dissolving, they're asking you to be centered and to be right here, and to stay, being, in a more of a meditative state, and just trust the universe and trust that we're going in a better direction. Okay. And that, because, I mean, you saw how the old ways of doing things were. It wasn't very good, but also it is very uncomfortable to change. But it just wasn't sustainable. The way we were living life before just wasn't sustainable. It has to dissolve, okay? And we are going here. Once this gets all cleaned up and washed away, and this disruption is done, society, will be at a higher vibration up here. All right, the next card we got is Mystic. Light attribute revels in intimate union with the divine. Right. So that's what, again, the big picture behind this coronavirus is about, having a more intimate union with the divine. That makes total sense, because I think a lot of people who are going through some tough times right now, what it does is it forces people to go closer to the divine or closer to God, and whatever that looks like to you. It usually, when there are tough times, people do turn to God, because they kind of go through some kind of shift, where they are plummeting sometimes in their, vibration. Like maybe they start to panic, or they start to feel fear, or they start to feel anxiety. And so what people will do is they will start to have more of an intimate relationship or union with the divine. And so that is something that is helping to get us into this new Aquarian age, because being divinely led is the way to go instead of being ego led. All right, the next card we got is I connect with the Great White Brotherhood and radiate pure light today. So basically, basically this card is just saying examining every area of your life carefully, practicing purity of thought, word, and deed. You're asking now to be an example of right living. Okay, so you're living in the light now. Okay, and that you're being asked to ascend. All right. And so your reward is peace and joy and flowing smoothly on a higher path in life. Okay. So again, just examining every area in your life. And I'm doing the same thing right now, and just kind of seeing like what you can do to practice, this is why I'm practicing yoga right now. There's something like 8 limbs of the tree. I don't even know. But anyway, it's all about right living and, and how to live in a pure way. And this is going to really, you know, that type of like that. It doesn't have to be that, but like that type of modality is going to help you in this new dimension that we're going into. All right, the next card we got is sensitivity. It says you're becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. So that's white Tara. So yes, so as we go into these new times, we're all becoming more sensitive. And and it kind of goes back to this other card that we were talking about with being receptive. It's like just being more sensitive to other beings. So like for instance, there was a time when I had no problem killing a bug in my house. Like I really didn't. Like to me it was like, oh my God, you're in my house. Like I would just kill it. And now I can't do that anymore. I've become extremely sensitive to like all beings and all entities that I just, if I see, like, even if it's a scorpion, I have to put it outside. I cannot kill it. I can't. And so, and this is increasingly more and more with people, and where they're not able to, like, I'm unable to read the news or watch the news. I'm just way too sensitive. I can't watch certain movies, and just everything has an energy set point. I'm sorry, everything has a vibrational set point, and so if it doesn't match your vibration, if it's a very low vibrational thing, like if it's the news and it's way lower than your vibration, here's the thing, if it matches your vibration, you're not going to even feel it. You're going to be numb to it. But if your vibration's higher and higher and higher, things like certain types of music, certain types of shows, certain types of food, certain types of relationships and chemicals and the news, anything like that is really going to affect you. You're becoming more and more sensitive, and I think that's why we're also becoming more and more sensitive to animals, and we're thinking more about like how we're treating animals because gosh, it's bad. It's bad how people treat animals out there. Okay. Next card we got is Mother Earth. Mawu, it says you are called upon to help with environmentalism. Right. So this is a huge one. And so I think many of you might have seen about something to do with Venice. So, as you know, in Italy, they were quarantined. And so people were talking about how clear the water is now in Venice. And so they're saying, as we're not leaving as much of a footprint, we are cleaning up the environment. So that is one way this is one big picture behind the virus. The more people who have been not taking planes or driving or taking boats, it has kind of really helped the environment like big time. And so, but there are other ways, of course, to help with the environment. So whatever it is that you feel guided to do, whether it be anything to do with sustainability, recycling, planting your own food. There's so many ways that you can help with the environment. All right, the next card. It says wait. It says don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results. So maybe for some of you who might be panicking, maybe there's something like I know with me, like I of course I didn't think anything of it because I don't watch the news, but at some point I kind of heard what was happening because my sisters, they live in different states than me, and they were saying and they're I'm like after them like time wise, and they were saying how everything was sold out of supermarkets where they live. So I thought, oh Lord, I better get out there. So I also did. I ran out and I just tried to buy I didn't get any toilet paper, but I did the best I could to get things. And so, but they're saying, wait, don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results. So this could mean like a few things. They're just asking you not to panic. Things will be restocked. And by the way, for those of you who are worried about being mandatorily quarantined, I do have a friend in Spain, and she said that grocery stores are still open, and she's still allowed to go to the grocery store, even though even though it's mandatory quarantine. So don't panic, and yeah, and just whatever action that maybe you're looking to do out of fear. Oh, that's what they're telling me. Okay. So they're saying any action that you're looking to take out of fear, don't do it. Don't bide your time for better results. Do it out of intuition. Don't make any decisions out of fear. Got it. All right. The next card you got is, oh, it says solar plexus chakra, self-esteem. So I've actually been playing this at night. So a lot of this has to do with, being in fear. It's about anxiety. It's about self-esteem. But since there's a lot of fear going on, so it's probably a good idea to clean out your solar plexus. Yeah, so I do have a video on that of cleansing the solar plexus. And I'm gonna try to link that below. I'm gonna see if I can figure that out. And then also, if you want to listen to Hertz music, that's very helpful. Yoga, whatever you can do to clean out your solar plexus. You might be taking on other people's fear as well. All right, the next card you got is make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive? Listen to your intuition and make a decision. Yeah, so for some of you who are feeling stuck, or indecisive about something, they're asking you just to pay attention to your intuition. Okay, don't just don't do like, well, anyway, it's kind of weird because maybe for some of you they're asking you to wait. Don't do anything out of fear, and then for some of you who are feeling stuck when it comes to something like you're not quite sure what to do, they're saying to just use your intuition to make a decision. Use your intuition. So I don't know if that means anything to anyone. All right, the next card we got is Peridot. Life lessons. It says you can break free from recurring negative patterns by praying to know the lesson and blessing they contain. Okay, so this is about life lessons. And this is about, so this is the big picture behind the coronavirus. So the big picture, okay. Right. So I did ask what the big picture was behind the coronavirus. And so I'm guessing one of the big pictures behind the coronavirus is to push people to make a decision. This might have to do with twin flames as well. Like maybe if there were twin flames that were on the fence about maybe reaching out, this type of ordeal would, push somebody to take action. Okay, but again, they're saying don't take any action out of fear, though. It shouldn't be out of fear, but so that's what this means. So one of the big picture items for this coronavirus is it's forcing people off the fence. So for people who were stuck or like sitting on the fence about something, they're going to realize life is short. It's time to make that decision. And then what this card is saying, it's about breaking free from recurring negative patterns. All right, and then understanding the blessings. Okay, so your life lessons, they all contain a blessing, but it's also about breaking free from your, it's like deprogramming yourself. So that is a huge, big picture, behind the scenes, like what's going on and why this coronavirus is happening. Okay. Again, I also feel like with this other card, the coronavirus also has to do with, yes, dissolving the ego, but also like just being receptive to we are all one. Okay. Treating everybody like just having mutual respect for Earth, for other entities, for other animals, just having mutual respect that we are all at the same level. Treat every entity with respect and just breaking free from recurring negative patterns. That's what the big picture is behind this coronavirus. All right, the next card we got is Aqua Aura. It says healthy communication and relationships. Heart-to-heart discussions and clear, assertive communication help you understand and be understood. Yep. So again, because this is some kind of, the coronavirus is bringing up a lot of fears and a lot of panic and a lot of people like rethinking things and thinking, wow, life isn't what I expected it to be, and you never know when something could happen. And so this is going to open up a lot of healthy communication and relationships. More people are going to have heart-to-heart discussions because they're going to realize life is short, and they're going to want to like put more effort into their relationship. So this is another big picture reason behind the coronavirus. All right, the next card we got is hobbies. So this is something that you can do, if you're self-quarantined or being quarantined. Take up new hobbies. I'm sure there's many things that you wanted to do in the past and you never got around to doing. And this virus is now giving you, it's almost like a blessing. It's like a gift. It's giving you this time to really learn something. So for instance, for me, like I said, for like Reiki, I've never learned Reiki. So now I'm taking the time to learn it. I'm taking classes online. I'm really enjoying it. And it's something I would never have thought to do before. All right, the next card we got is forgiveness. Yep. So again, because what's going on, it's causing people to realize life's too short. It's allowing people to have those heart to heart conversations, and there's going to be a lot more forgiveness. And in order to move into the dawn of the Aquarian age, we do need to forgive, and forgiveness has been tested as one of the biggest ways to raise your vibration, because they tested that. They wanted to know how to get into enlightenment vibration and what's the fastest way to do that. And they figured out it was to forgive yourself, to forgive others, whatever might have happened. I mean, we all have a story, right? Things have happened in the past. We're asking us to purge that and to forgive. Okay. And that's going to get you into the higher dimensions. All right, surrender the so this is another big picture. The big picture behind the coronavirus is that we're learning to surrender the drama. So it says no matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly, which is true. I find that when I'm, getting all panicked with everyone else, and when I'm like looking for toilet paper online, I feel like I'm definitely in the drama, and then it gives me some anxiety. And then when I realized, this is not serving me at all, and it wasn't helping me to sleep at all, I decided to remain calm and not contribute to the drama and be more centered. And that's when I was like, oh, let me learn Reiki now, or let me do some yoga. So it really put me in a much, much higher place. And so it's helping you to learn how to surrender the drama. They really had to. I feel like what this coronavirus, like the divine, I really believe that the divine has a hand in this. And one of the biggest life lessons behind this is that you're learning things have to be exasperated for you to realize how dramatic people are, and how dramatic people make out of situations. And so, it's kind of like that. It was just a wake up call. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was a wake up call to help us realize, wow, because a lot of us are becoming more sensitive. We had the sensitivity card. We're becoming more sensitive, and we're trying very hard to get out of that drama, that we're being asked to avoid those type of situations, relationships, environments, okay? Because that's going to get us into the higher dimensions. All right, the next card we got is surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. Yep, learning to say no. Yeah, so that's what's going on in these times as well. It's knowing when people have crossed our boundaries, and that no is a complete sentence, and that it's okay to set limits for others and for yourself. It's okay to set healthy boundaries. All right. And then the next card you got is surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. Right. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to push, push, push to kind of get myself in line with what was happening. And then I realized, what am I doing? I need to like go with the flow instead. And then once I did that, I kind of dropped my guard and everything started flowing well again. So yeah. So just surrender to effortlessness. Make each day effortless as best you can throughout this mayhem, and just kind of feel the feel the joy of it's just, these are new times. Just feel the joy of the awakening. Instead of focusing on what's not good, focus on what's good. Focus on, hey, there's an awakening going on. A new dawn is being born. I even have proof of it. I thought that this might be happening, but I wasn't sure. But now I have proof that the divine is definitely stepping in to clear the old, to deprogram us, and to allow the new in. And this is wonderful. And we're all moving up. And you see what's going on out there. People are helping others, and people are, I mean, like I said, I'm taking a class on Reiki, and it's for free. Like there's a website that put it out for free. And so like this is what people are doing for people, you know. And so it's just like we're all one, and this is what we're going into. It's like a happy time, you know, versus looking at it as a panicky time. All right, the next card you got is Whale. It says, through music, you reclaim life's magic and grow strong in body and soul. Okay, so the divine is saying one way to get through this is through music, and you can reclaim life's magic and grow strong in body and soul through music. So it could even be whale music, listening to whale music, or listening to, again, Hertz music, or, you know, any kind of music that really sets your soul on fire, to turn to that during this time to help raise your vibrations. The next card you got is Kangaroo. It says, as events take on their own momentum, you take a true leap forward. Okay, yeah, so that's like kind of like a big card. So this is a big message. So as events take on their own momentum, which they are, you take a true leap forward. So not only you, but humanity. So just look at it that way. You all are taking a big leap forward as humanity. Okay? This is an awakening that's going on. So old paradigms are crashing down. Things that were important before are no longer important. I mean, toilet paper seems to be the most important thing right now. Okay, the next card you got is, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. So that should make you feel a lot better. So when it comes to the matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. So every choice you make is just expanding you. So just know, every choice you make, even with during this coronavirus, every choice you make is just expanding you. You know, it's catapulting you into a new dimension. You know, as you're letting go of the old paradigm, as you're letting go and deprogramming yourself of your old belief systems of what life should look like, or what security should look like, or, you know, not having any kind of thought to, like, oh, what am I eating today, or like, what am I spraying today, or like not having any thought to that. All that's changing. Okay, and now you're expanding in your knowledge. All right, the next card you got is Playfulness. It says, laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the greatest healer. So they're asking just to be playful during these times. You know, and those of you who are twin flames, you know, be playful, you know, with your, you know, with the energy of your twin flame. And it is a really good therapy. And, you know, and we're all energy. So not only are you doing that with your twin flame, you could do that with anyone. You could even do that with people that have passed on. I do it with my parents all the time. Both my parents have passed on, and I still like tell them jokes, and I, you know, like I just kid around. I'll say, oh, you remember when, mom, or remember when, dad? It's just like, because we're all energy, I know that they're still here. And so you're just having fun. You just, like, you know, you're just laughing over things, you know, and it doesn't have to be in the 3D. I don't know why they asked me to tell you that, but okay. So the next card we got is Boundaries. It says, set boundaries, protect your precious time and energy. Wow, that's the second card you got on boundaries. So maybe some of you needed to hear this. Maybe some of you are letting others cross your boundaries. It's okay to protect your own precious time and your own precious energy. It's okay. That's okay, because we're all getting sensitive. As we're moving into the higher dimensions, you're going to notice that there are going to be things that are just not going to align to you anymore. So, like I said, there are going to be people going to watch certain shows that are going to be horrid. I said horrid, because there are shows out there where people are just numb to it, where people are killing each other, or I don't know, people just numb to it. And as you raise your vibration, you're just not going to be. And it's okay to set boundaries. You don't have to have that type of stuff in your home. You don't have to have certain language in your home, like if people curse. You don't have to have certain foods in your home if you don't eat meat, you know, and you respect, you know, the fact that, you know, we're all one. um, that's okay. You don't have to have that in your home. It's okay. just you can set your own boundaries, okay? All right, the next card you got is goals. It says set a goal, write it down, and release the outcome. Small steps make a big difference. Yep. So for many of you who are, in this place of what to do next, that this is what the divine is suggesting, that you set a goal now, write it down, and release the outcome. Okay, and you could take just small steps. Take small steps. So that's what I'm doing now, right? So with the Reiki, I'm just taking a small step towards learning Reiki, and I have the time to do it now that I am self quarantining myself. Although I kind of was doing that anyway. I'm kind of that way anyway. But anyway, the next card you got is improving health. Okay, so I believe this card came out because this whole reason behind the coronavirus, this is going to help people improve their health in so many ways. This is going to teach people to definitely be a little more have more cleanliness, right? So they're gonna clean more so. They're gonna wash their hands more so. They're gonna be a little bit more diligent about their own energy. They're gonna be more diligent about setting their own boundaries. Especially now with the coronavirus, that's another reason why, you want to, set your boundaries, have that social distancing right now. But anyway, with the health, improving health, that all of this is going to improve your health big time. It's going to raise your vibrations. Okay. Again, it has a lot to do with your own energy, cleaning your own energy, cleaning, energy work, cleaning your own chakras. Again, I'm going to try to link the videos below to, I think I'm going to try and do that. So below I may have videos of my ASMR chakra cleansing that will also improve your health, okay? And that's ASMR, by the way. And so improving your health could also be just having better relationships, being kind. So if you're being kind to yourself, kind to others, that's going to improve your health. Having right thinking, just being more sensitive to others, and just knowing that we're all one, and this this awakening is going to improve our health. Okay, so that's another big picture reason behind this coronavirus. Then we also got trust. So the divine is asking us to trust them. So there's some stuff going on behind the scenes, by the way. So another big picture behind the scenes for this coronavirus is that there are people being arrested. I don't know if you noticed that like 1,300 CEOs stepped down last year, and a lot more, and then more. I don't know if a lot more, but more are stepping down this year. I know Bill Gates has stepped down. So a bunch of CEOs are stepping down right now, and there's a lot of stuff we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And so they're asking us to trust us. So it's almost like a distraction. So this coronavirus is distracting us from other things that are going on. So things that behind the scenes that weren't very good, weren't very nice. Like I said, not nice things happening to animals, not nice things happening to children, things about money, all going down behind the scenes. And so that's being cleared up. So the universe is asking us to trust. We are being distracted by the cleanup. People are being arrested behind the scenes, okay? All right, the next card we got is hope. So they're asking you to stay hopeful. Instead of feeling down about this whole coronavirus, they're asking us to feel hopeful because, again, this is a new dawn. This is the age of Aquarius, and this is a time of peace, love, happiness, joy, enlightenment. This is what we're going into, but the old had to fall down. That which does not align with the fifth dimension, all has to go away. That's why I said people are being arrested. People who have been doing things in the background, that has to end. That has to end. Okay, and now we are deprogramming ourselves of it, because I think some of us were getting kind of numb to it. Listening to stuff on the news, we're getting numb to it. And they don't want us to be numb to it. They want us to clear that out, heal ourselves, and they want us to, treat everything with respect. All right, and then courage. So yes, they're asking of courage right now. A lot of people are frantic and maybe not feeling pretty brave at this time. They're just feeling like, oh, like almost at the mercy of this virus. And they're asking you to instead have courage, and know that, what's going on is actually for our highest good. And like I said, it's going to improve our health with the new ways of doing things. Okay. And, just again, just set your boundaries. Okay. Set your boundaries and just work on yourself. That's what this time is, and have courage and don't get caught up in everybody else's drama. Okay, the next card you got is remember kindness. It says we are naturally kind even in our lowest moments when we feel useless or of no value. Our inner kindness can give us the strength to pull through. Take 5 minutes to remember episodes of kindness and generosity you've witnessed or experienced, whether it was epic, heroic kindness worthy of a Hollywood movie, or something very small like giving a smile to someone who needed it. Remember these times in as much detail as possible. By keeping them in your mental wallet, you can always access them as a reminder that both you and the world are full of kindness and generosity. So that's another big picture reason behind the coronavirus, is that it's, forcing us to remember kindness. Okay. We have to be kind because when we're out in the grocery store and people are, I guess, I don't know, I haven't witnessed it, but I guess getting a little rough around the edges, just try to remember kindness, just try to remember people are panicked right now. They're not used to having their world rocked like this. I have to say, some people probably are used to it in other countries. I know in Ireland, a lot of people have been through a lot of terrorist attacks. I was there on 9/11. I worked down there. And so it was kind of the same thing. Like your whole world has been turned upside down. But at the same time, the kindness is unbelievable. When I was leaving New York City after the World Trade Center came down, we had to walk on foot. There was nothing, there was no transportation, of course. And as we crossed over the Brooklyn Bridge, people in Brooklyn were like waiting for us to hug us, give us water, any kind of medical attention. Like they were just hugging us and telling us how sorry they were, like that we had to go through that. And it was just unbelievable. Like I'll never forget that day. And so just know these are times that really bring out people's kindness. And it's reminding us to do the same, like reach out and like help people, in this time of need. Okay, also it says feel the ground. So it says just like the breath, our connection to the earth is always available to us. By simply paying attention to the feeling of our feet, we can literally ground ourselves at any time. Practice this in different circumstances and in different places so that when you're facing difficult moments in the future, you have as always accessible tool to bring yourself back to the present moment. Yeah, so ground yourself. That's going to help you get through this. Feel your breath. Always feel connected to the earth. Just pay attention to the now, what's going on around you. Don't watch the news. That will really unground you. If you watch other people's panic and drama, it's going to unground you within seconds. It's going to take you out of your center within seconds. And so instead, ground yourself and listen to your own intuition. The news is just there to distract you from what's really going on. Okay. All right. Opportunity. Yep. So this is a huge opportunity for us to move into a new era of the Aquarian age. We're moving into a new world. It needs to be this way. It needs to be, well, it doesn't need to be like where we're like running around in, panic mode. It doesn't have to be pandemonium whatsoever. Some people are reacting that way, but we don't have to act that way. We can just instead in peace, saying to ourselves, wow, this is great. This is historically an awesome time where people are being changed from the inside out. And I know it feels like we're being forced to change. I know my girlfriend said something funny to me. She says, it's like we're being kicked out of the matrix and we don't have a choice which pill to take, which I totally agree with her. We're being kicked out of the matrix, but we don't have a choice in the pill. They're giving it to us whether we want it or not. Okay, so the next question we got is, the next card we got is stuck in the mud. Yep. So before we were all kind of stuck in the mud, we're all kind of stuck in the 3D. It was very dense energy, very low dense energy. I mean, you know that. Just look at the news for the past 50 years. Almost like the dark ages, okay? And so we were very much stuck in the mud. And so that's what this time is, that this time, this coronavirus, like the spirituality around it is pulling us out of the mud. It's pulling us out. So we will no longer be stuck in the lower dimensions. The next card you got is yes. Yes, say so that they're like, say yes to this new time. Say yes to this new dimension. Say yes to the Aquarian age. Say yes to this awakening. Okay. Say yes to improving ourselves. Say yes to this new opportunity. Okay. All right. We also got dry desert. So what this talks about is, so do you see how she's walking through a very like harsh environment? You can almost imagine it's probably like 115 degrees, it's very desolate. There's no water. So, in a way, we're having the courage to do this right now. We are walking through a difficult time and we are persevering though. It's not like roses and, waterfalls and, I don't know, rainbows. It's very much like this is what we're walking through right now. We're walking through tough times. And they're asking us to keep going because when we get, when we get through these times that we're going through right now, this is what's waiting for us, okay? So we just have to do the work first. It is work, but just stay, just keep persevering, keep going, keep doing the work. Um, I'm going to be posting a bunch of videos this week about how to better ourselves. But a lot of it has to do with twin flames, although it doesn't have to be about a twin flame. And that I think will be very, very helpful during these times. All right, the next card we got is fresh air. Yeah, so I think I mentioned before about the environment. So because not as many planes are in the air, we're having fresher air. It's better for the environment. Anything where we have one less footprint. It is going to help the environment in some way. Also, they're saying what's going to help you during this time is to get out into the fresh air, and says, "Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me breathe easier in all ways." That could just mean breathing. So breathing, doing your breaths, enjoying the fresh air. I don't know, enjoying your pets, you know, helping out animals, only because there's an animal in that card. But yeah, so it's all about another big picture behind this virus is that it is helping the environment to be quarantined even for the short amount of time. It is helping the environment. All right, the next card we got is Omega. It says, "Victory, your desires coming to fruition. Keep up the good work." Yeah, so it's almost like the divine is listening to us and what we wanted. So, as souls, we wanted this. We wanted to move into a higher dimension. We no longer wanted to live in the matrix of, the old programming of conditional love, of like, blaming others, of like not forgiving people, just the old ways of doing things, kind of like a slavery type, where you like everyone's in debt and they have to work just to make ends meet. Like that, people want that, like we want that to end. And so that's what's happening now. All that is starting to fall apart. And so there's a clearing going on right now. And so victory is ours with that. Next card you got is Mirror. It says, "Who or what is triggering you?" Who or what is triggering you? And yep, and this has a lot to do with the twin flame as well. And so this is a great practice. So whenever something is triggering you, just know this is something that is programmed inside of you that you need to release. Anything that triggers you. So even in like, I'll just use the example of politics. If politics really, like if a certain party or a certain runner is really triggering you, you really have to kind of go within you and just that's not going to be part of the 5D. So part of the 5D is knowing we are all one. And so, and that's also a secret to getting in twin flame union as well, is to not feel like we're separate. And then, so if you get really angry over something, like again, like somebody in a different political party than yours, or politics in general, anything like that, and it really, really, really bothers you and gets to you, just know that's something inside of you that's programmed that you have to clean out, and you have to get out of this illusion of separateness and get into the we are all one, we are all in this together, we are all, you know, as souls, we are all like here for a purpose to help us. So like a good example of that is not too long ago I was shamed publicly from my boss's boss, and and it really triggered me and it really upset me. And what I realized is that her soul loved me so much, because it made me realize it was mirroring me. Because at the same time, during that time, I was publicly not in a, like, I didn't know I was doing this. I was very unconscious of it. That's why the divine did it this way. Just like the divine's doing it this way with this coronavirus, is in such a way that's in your face that you can't even, like, you know, like, you can't ignore it. Like, you can't ignore this, right? It's in your face in some sort of way. The divine made sure it affected you in some sort of way. Okay, so that's what happened when I was shamed from my boss's boss publicly. And that's because unconsciously I was shaming my twin flame by saying my twin flame isn't for my highest good at this time. And and it was an unconscious thing on my part, but it is what I said in some of my old videos. And and what happened was, because we are all one, I was actually shaming myself. So when you're shaming others, you're shaming. So same thing. Like, so let's just say you don't like Donald Trump. I know it sounds weird, but when you shame Donald Trump, like, you're shaming yourself. We are all one, and it does come back to you in some sort of way. The divine will take a mirror and they'll put that mirror in front of you and they will do it back to you. So, like, for instance, when I was getting divorced, I wasn't very I wasn't very respectful to my husband at the time during the divorce proceedings. And what that did was, it came back to me in a coworker. The coworker kept disrespecting, and there was nothing I did to my coworker. And I had to figure out, oh, it's because of the way I was treating my husband at the time. And now it was coming back to me in a different way. So I hope that makes sense. So we're always a mirror. We're all connected. So however you treat someone or talk about someone, it does come back to you, because we're all one. And we're coming into a time where people are starting to realize that. They're going to see that more and more. You can't ignore it. It's going to be in your face. Okay. All right. The next card we got is the Great Gathering. It says it's all coming together. Intuitive hits. Soul Tribe. Okay. And so, yeah, this is almost like a gathering coming together. So as we go through this new era of the age of Aquarius, it is going to be a time that we're going to be at a higher vibration, and we're going to start attracting our soul tribe. Okay, our soul tribe, they are going to be for our highest good. These are people that you're not going to need a whole lot of boundaries with, because they're going to be nothing. They're going to be all about you, not like you, but they're going to be all about pushing you and helping you into a higher, like, vibration. And how can I describe it? Your soul tribe is here to, like, unconditionally love you. That's what a soul tribe is. They're here to unconditionally love you, and they will bring you to your next level. Instead of people who are bringing you down vibrationally, they are going to bring you up vibrationally. All right, the next card you got is Lalita, the Red Goddess. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. Okay, so we already had a card like this, right, about being playful. And so this is a confirmation that, we need to just be playful in our spiritual power, just, laugh, and whatever brings you laughter, like, whatever you have to do to make yourself lighter, because right now we're all kind of stuck in the mud. We had the stuck in the mud card, right? In that lower density energy. Okay. So you can choose, right? So you have a choice. You can choose to be in that lower density energy and be in those dense emotions of fear, of sadness, of oh no, what's going to happen? Or you can be like Lalita, the red goddess, and instead you could be playful. You can, like be in your power, be in your divine feminine power, which has nothing to do with gender, by the way. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Everybody has a divine feminine side, just like everyone has a divine masculine side. And like being having laughter, joy, being nurturing to yourself. Okay, this is going to bring you out of the mud. Okay, this is going to bring you to higher vibrations, and you are no longer going to feel the density anymore. You're no longer going to attract it. And anything that does come near you that is dense, it's going to fall away. All right, also says easy does it. It says, Dear Archangel Raphael, please help me detach, retreat, and let go so that healing can occur. Yep, so this is going to help you through these times. They're asking you to please detach. All right, just detach and retreat and take care of yourself, nurture yourself. Don't get caught up in the drama. Let that drama go. Be kind to others though, be kind to them. Don't like put them down because then that's again going against the whole we are one energy. And just know that you're still a mirror. But yeah, easy does it. Take it easy. This is a good time to just relax and be at peace. And we got the universe works fast when I'm having fun. So that's really good advice there. That's funny. Okay, so what they're telling me is the universe is working really hard to amp up these energies right now. They're working really hard to clear away the old paradigms, the old programming. And if you're not having fun during these times and you're getting cut, if you're being stuck in the mud in these negative emotions, it's going to go super slow. But if you decide instead to have fun and be playful and happy and do what you love to do on your own, just do what you love, it's going to go, these times are going to go really super fast for you. Okay, it's going to happen super fast. All right. And it says there is a stream of love supporting my dreams. So the divine is just reminding you that during these times, there is always a stream of love supporting you. Always. Just trust the divine always has your back during these times. Okay. All right, the next card you got is the Devil Obsession. Yep. So this is all about another big picture behind this this coronavirus. Is that what's going on behind the scenes is that there's some interesting things happening when it comes to it could even be like worship, like devil worshiping. It could have to do with like drug rings, sex slavery. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that people aren't aware of, and we're constantly being distracted with this, news that comes. I don't even know because I don't watch the news. Anyway, so this is being cleared away. All the stuff. So in order to get into the Aquarian age, all that needs to be cleaned up. Okay. And those poor people who were, victims or subjected to these types of hideous crimes that were going on in the background, that is being cleared away right now. That is being. So I almost feel like this coronavirus is taking another. So another thing that I'm hearing is that this coronavirus is also a distraction as well, because we used to have other viruses, okay, that came out like Ebola, SARS, and never quite had this much attention and never quite went this far with like the news media. And so but anyway, I don't think that what's happening with this virus is quite as bad as they're saying. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm hearing. Although I am very sorry to those of you who are affected by the virus. I'm very sorry for anyone who is suffering in any sort of way with any illness. I do feel like it is also being used as a distraction. for things that are like, I think there are a lot of arrests going on, a lot of cleanup, which is really good. And but at the same time, there might be other things going on that we're being distracted from that I don't have any idea what people are getting away with. Also, they're telling me that this is a good time for us to like not be attached, like any attachments, like clean up those attachments. Don't like any kind of obsession or anything that has to do with um, like if we're addicted to anything, now's the time to let go of addictions. Right living, like we're moving into right living, whatever that means to you, right living. That's where we're being asked to live at our highest version of ourselves at this time. All right. So also, I asked like if there was any kind of imbalance, and I do believe another reason for this coronavirus is there is such an imbalance with our divine feminine, divine masculines. As you know, the divine masculine, the shadow side um, has really been a big factor. It has caused like, so how like the male archetype has been kind of sabotaged through the shadows of the male. So, for instance, fighting. A lot of the male archetype was about dominance or power or greed or just like not really caring about people, just more about like survival of just self and killing whoever was in their way, like that was our history, right? And so we become really imbalanced. And then women, of course, being disempowered in such a way where women weren't like allowed to vote at some point, and women weren't making the same amount of money as men and all that type of stuff. And so all this has now come to a head. And so again, this awakening is all about that. This whole archetype of the male versus female has to go away because this is causing a huge imbalance in society. Okay. And even the younger generations, they don't even notice gender, I don't think. I mean, some of them do, but most of them I don't even think notice gender. And everybody has a divine feminine, divine masculine side of them. This is everyone. And so just know that we are healing that, and the divine masculine sides of us are not the shadow. Yeah, everybody, even the divine feminine, everybody has a shadow side, but we have to clean that up and we have to look at the light side of the divine masculine, and we have to heal the divine masculine. A lot of our twin flames, a lot of the divine masculine twin flames are taking on that archetype, all that pain that was caused by males in the past. They are taking that on, and this is why they don't feel good enough for their divine feminines, and they are in retreat right now. They are trying so hard to heal, but they are taking on all that pain of how we treated women in the past. They are taking that on. That is what they signed up to do. But now they don't feel good enough for their divine feminine because they feel like they're unworthy because of the way they treated women in the past. And it wasn't them necessarily, but they're taking on the shadow side of the collective, and now they're trying to heal it and purge it. And the divine feminine also is doing what she can, or what they can. Divine feminine is also male, into empowering the divine feminine, and allowing the divine feminine qualities to be of value again, and allowing the divine feminine to feel like she is whole on her own or his own. Again, nothing to do with gender. And so it's a balance of the divine feminine, divine masculine energies where there is no difference. We are integrated. We are integrated. Okay, we are integrated. The divine feminine, divine masculine are one. No difference. Nothing like this, nothing like the male or the patriarch society is higher or more valued than the female. It's not that anymore. It's this. So this is what we're moving into. And so that's what this is about. It's a crumbling of the old paradigm. Okay, it's the crumbling of the old way of thinking. So what's out of balance is excess earthly masculine of fighting. Okay, that has put us out of balance. Also being unaware, not being very spiritual, being more ego based. That has put us out of balance, okay? And then on the earthly feminine, the earthly feminine has been a bit serious and dry, not very loving, okay? That has put us out of balance. And then excess spiritual feminine of martyrdom, being more of a martyr, being more of a I do everything for everyone and no one does anything for me. It's almost like a victim status. And that also has put us out of balance. And so we are in the midst of healing that right now. Those types of feeling that way as a victim, or feeling like they have to fight to survive, or feeling like, or just being in that unawareness and not feeling like we are all one. All that has to be healed. And the way that will be healed is that in all of us, we will all become more intuitive, compassionate. We'll all become more committed to each other. We'll all be more patient with each other, receptive, nurturing, and then more giving and forward going. Okay. That's also what's going on behind the scenes, and the bigger picture behind the coronavirus is healing the divine feminine, divine masculine energies. Now, I also pulled a bunch of tarot, and so I think it was upside down like this. Okay. So they're asking you to have strength, okay, during these times. Okay. All right. So there's some kind of they're asking you to keep planning. Your ships are coming in. Okay. Your ships are coming in to keep planning, to keep doing what you're doing, knowing that the dawn of Aquarius is coming, whether we're ready or not. It's here. It's here. I think astrologically, it is here. If we listen to the song, we match it up to what's going on astrologically. I think it's matching up now. They're asking you to move slowly towards your goals. All right, they're asking you to move slowly. Don't rush in. Take your time. Work on it now. Work slowly towards purging, healing your inner child. They're asking you to keep moving in the direction of raising your vibrations. They're asking you, well, this is most of the world's feeling right now, just kind of like bummed out and like, wow, what's going on here? And they're not noticing this cup. So this is the dawn of the Aquarius. That's what they're not noticing, that it's the big awakening, and that our old paradigm is falling, and they're asking us to take that chance. They're asking us to get the fire become more passionate, and they're asking us to be strong and take this risk. So this is a person who's about to take a risk on this new adventure. This person's very adventurous, and that's what they're asking us to do right now. That's my dog, by the way. It's Mac. They're asking you to realize that this is a gift from the universe. The universe is giving us a gift right now. Okay, that's what this is. It's a gift from the universe to us. It doesn't look like a gift right now because everything's kind of in a, everything's being turned upside down. But they're asking you to realize your own prosperity. The reason why I say that is because we got this card. They're asking you to go within and realize your own prosperity, realize your own wholeness of your own. Don't let others cross your boundaries, but at the same time, be kind, be loving, know that we are all one energetically. Okay. It's just a knowing that we're all in this together. The entire world, every single person in this world is in this together. Everyone's being affected. This is not just a one country thing. This isn't just 9/11 where America got hit and we're the only ones that were dealing with it. No, this is the entire world. I would say maybe maybe not every single person, but most of the population. They're kind of in one way or another are going through this, okay? And they're realizing that we are a mirror to each other, okay? And we are growing and we are shedding the old ways of doing things. And they're asking us to have a new perspective, just have a new perspective on everything. If you have the same perspective that you always had with these new times coming in, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a tough journey for those who do that. So they're asking you to have a new perspective on what this is, and they're asking you to work on your passion and your spirituality, because that's what this is about. This is about getting passionate about your spirituality. The spirituality is going to get you through this, okay? And this is what you will feel like once you start doing that. Like this is what the new life in the age of Aquarius will look like. This is what you'll look like. Happy, petting your cat. Yeah, with your, what's that called? Not a a dream catcher. With your dream catcher hanging from the ceiling. Okay, and then I also asked what shadows are being crumbled. What shadows are being crumbled? All right. And the first shadow we got is making up tales that harm others. So this is the press. This has to do with your news. Um, so there's a lot of things that are being made up. So this is any kind of socially constructed, like anything that had to do with making a certain group of people in a bad light. So like the American Indians were given a certain, what's the word I want to say? They were socially constructed to look like barbarics and not, you know what I'm saying? And so it's so like anything like that where people are socially constructed to be lesser than everyone else, which caused racism. So the Holocaust right there, that's the first time I think we actually coined racism right there. That is going away. That shadow attribute is going away with this new uh, dawn age of Aquarius, okay, the coronavirus, okay, it's knocking it down. It's knocking it all down. This virus is just, it's, the virus is like taking away the virus that we caused. Like we created a virus. Like our virus was racism. I mean, we did everything we could to like when it, like with gender, we made one gender more valued than another gender. We made one race more value than another race, and so forth and so on. Anyway, making up tales that harmed others is going away. That's one shadow aspect. We also got hermit. So it says the shadow of withdrawing from society out of fear or negative judgment of others, refusing to help those in need. Yep. So that also shadow is going away. So this is people who withdraw from society out of fear, or people who refuse to help those in need. So I guess the big picture is, so you know how now we have like the top 2% that make a lot of money, and then we have like the bottom uh, in society that are homeless, and people like don't think anything of it. Like there are the haves and the have-nots, and people think nothing. And then there are a bunch of those in the middle. That's going away. That whole, you know, some people who own 100 houses and then some people who have like nothing. That's going away. People who refuse to help others. There's no reason for someone to own that many houses, okay? When they could feed a small country that are starving, okay? So that is going away. That shadow aspect is going away in the dawn of Aquarius. Another shadow side that's going away is the inability to commit to a path once found. So this is about seekers. So people who are seeking for wisdom and trust. So the shadow of not committing. So people would maybe seek, but then really not commit. They would just go back, because we're all kind of in a way not controlled, but like we all have this. We're all kind of born in our first 5 years of our life. We're kind of born into a certain way of thinking. We're just kind of like programmed to know that we're conditionally loved, because if we don't act a certain way or do a certain thing, we are going to get punished. Love can be withheld from us. Um, Anything to do with programming. We have been programmed by schools, we've been programmed by politics, we've been programmed by the news, programmed by just about everything, by music, by TV. And so it kind of contributed that we weren't really able to commit to a path. And so for wisdom, and so that's going to go away. So now we are our thirst for wisdom and truth, we are going to find a path and commit to it. All right, the next thing we got, another shadow attribute that is going away, is arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. Yeah, so a lot of pertinent knowledge in the past has been translated into something very destructive, and a lot of destructive knowledge was put out in schools. Again, the whole programming, we were programmed to think that, relationships were built on conditional love, that we are separated, that we want, that money and power come is more important than love and peace and people. um, and so the arrogance and the pursuit of destructive knowledge will go away. So our schools are going to change. So things that are actually important about, fifth dimensional things such as unconditional love, that will be highlighted instead of something like history, which the history is just whatever, like it just all does is serve particular people's propaganda, like whatever served their propaganda, that was the history they could make up. Or it depends on what timeline you're even on, like who even knows if it was even true for your timeline. Anyway, the next card we got is the shadow attribute of escapism and a false sense of heroism. Right, so we always had kind of a false sense of heroism with certain people, like we kind of looked up to like people of I don't know, like the Pope, or people like with some kind of religious background, somebody who wears some kind of like I don't know, like. Okay, this is what's coming to mind. So there was a time when there were researchers that said if someone in a lab coat told you to electrocute someone, would they do it? Okay, they actually tested people in the 60s to see if they would electrocute people if they were told to do it just because they wore a lab coat. That's my whole point here. And so they and most people did, because they were and thankfully they really didn't get electrocuted, even though the subjects thought they were electrocuting people. It was based on if they got an answer wrong, they would have to like turn this knob that would electrocute the person, and the person in the lab coat would be very like stoic and say, okay, if they get the answer wrong, go ahead and pull the switch. And even though they didn't want to do it, they would do it because the person in the lab coat told them to do it. And it was all research based on, but the person behind the glass was just an actor, thank God. So they really didn't get uh, electrocuted. So anyway, so a false sense of heroism would be like looking at people that make a lot of money or people that are more self-serving, and we look at them as our heroes, and not really seeing like the true heroes that are like selfless or like help humanity. Okay, and then there's escapism, people who just escape through alcohol or drugs or sex or anything that's extremely 3D. Okay, that is also being torn down. Okay, so that is another shadow aspect that is going away. And then the last thing we have is places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Yep, so that's a big one. So for those people who would place financial gain over anything, to be honest, there are people out there who put financial gain over people. They care more about their financial gain. They don't, they. I used to work on Wall Street, and so the stock went up when people got laid off. That's when they made more money. And so it wasn't about people. It was about bank. It was about money. People would get excited when people got laid off because then their stock went up. Okay. People do bad things to make money. They have sex slavery there, or slavery in general. It still happens today, and it's all about the financial gain and control over people. And so this is also about not imparting spiritual insight. And so those people who were behind these um, big financial gain type projects did have the spiritual insight to impart intelligent spirituality knowledge, but chose not to, instead use it against humanity, if that makes sense. Anyway, so that is going away. Okay, so really be thankful for what is happening here with this coronavirus. I know it sounds like a lot, but I was interested in knowing what was going on behind the scenes with this coronavirus. And I knew it was something big because it's affecting the world. And so I hope this makes you feel a little bit better about it. Anyway, if you did like this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. And thank you so much for all of my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.